Hi everyone, this is Red with RedDragonLeo.com, and it is Wednesday. Wonderful Wednesday, at least if you're a bear. As Bernanke speaks, the market sells off. Of course, we knew it was all technical anyway, that from the technical standpoint, it looked to be ready to sell off. Of course, anything is possible. I did believe it was going to go up to that 109.87 print, and it never did. Which I'm on Cobra's blog here, and he also caught the same print right here that I showed you for the SPX, or the SPY. I'm sorry, for the SPY. This same print comes in at 109.67. Now we didn't get there today, so I don't know if we're going to or not. So we got there on the Qs, certainly. But these prints were actually done during the market hours, so that was kind of weird. Now, Cobra is showing a print here that was done during the market hours as well. So, that could be the target for tomorrow or Friday. I don't know. This one took a couple of days for it to get there, so this one should be the same if it gets back up there. Maybe that'll be the close on Friday. I don't know. But for tomorrow, we could possibly break out of this pennant that Cobra shows right here and pop up and maybe go up here and hit this necktie of resistance here on the 15-minute chart, because the 15 is over sold right now and could come back up. But when you look at the same chart, the 15 here, same chart, you can see it is oversold down here, but it's not hooking back up yet here. It is here, but it could do one of these numbers too, see? So it needs to be supported by other charts to push it up, for it to roll back up. So the question is it supported by larger time frame charts? And because right now the only support I see for it is this channel rising. And then you also have this huge trend line coming down from the April high right here, which really puts this thing in a bind, in a pinch right here. So it could go up here and bang its head here at 1080 or something, or if it chopped up to here throughout the day and hit there and bang its head again on the longer falling trend line channel from the April high. Or it could just, this micro bear flag right here, it's not very much of one. It's only a few hours, or a few 15, well, from 2 o'clock on, I guess, from here down. So there's not too many bars there to account for it. But in order to get below this trend line, I'd say it has to gap down. Now, I don't know if it's going to do that or not, but this could go down further. It is not hooked back up yet, as you can see. It is oversold, and it looks to be coming back up. And this appears to be coming back up, but is it supported by the other charts? Well, when you look at the 5-minute chart, it is not supported too much. The 5-minute is getting overbought. The 5-minute has not shown any sign of hooking back down. It is still going up, so it can run up here a little higher before it runs back down. But look at it. This whole move up on the 5-minute, all it did was trade sideways. So it's down, sideways, that's a bear flag. Again, but the 5-minute is not going to support the 15-minute very much. So we need to look for the larger time frame. And on that, we would look at the 60-minute. And as you can see, the 60-minute is not looking pretty. 60-minute, again, here's that long trend line from April high that we were banging up against. I thought we was going to go up there and hit the 109.87 print, and we still may at some point. But that would take us outside of this channel, which would be very bullish. If we never get outside of this channel, it would be very bullish. And I think we're going to eventually get there, but I don't know when. So as for right now, we banged up against it. Bernanke spoke, and the market sold off, and now we're chopping sideways these last couple hours. It's lost all of its steam here with the histogram towers. It doesn't have any power. It is rolling back down. It is still pointing down here on the 50 mark. It has not shown any signs of rolling back down. And this chart is more powerful than the 15 minute. So this would kind of indicate while this is rolling down, and it doesn't have to go down here and put a really low trough low here on the histogram bars. It could put one, a much smaller one, and give it a positive divergence to allow it to come up here and possibly do this wave C that everybody's looking for, to go up here to the 1120 area or something. Again, taking us outside this channel. Or it could just really, you know, go down quite further and put in a really lower one if the daily rolls over, because the daily again is more powerful. So as you can see here with the crisscross action of the ADX lines, there in the last you did see the negative DI line shoot up, and if the ADX line rolls up here tomorrow, you know, you could see some heavy selling. So this could be like a wave 1 down, a wave 2 up, and then we could have like a wave 3 starting or something. I don't, you know, again, I'm not an Elliott wave person. The VIX is supporting this, as you can see. When we go over here to the VIX, you can see the VIX closed up. It had 1, 2, 3 higher, higher lows right here. So it's, you know, sloping up. So it's going up, and it is going up here. It's still going down there, but so it's kind of indecisive. And then for the daily chart, as you can see, the daily is not hooked over yet, but it is certainly losing steam. The histogram bars are certainly losing steam. So if it crosses, you know, if it gets a bearish cross tomorrow, it could be ugly next week. And as you can see, we did hook back down below 50. And again, we don't have any clear direction yet. Even though we sold off, there's no hook back up on this ADX line. When it does, it's going to take one of these lines with it. Which one? I don't know. If this is an A, B, C, then it'll take the green positive DI line. If it's not, if this is the start of a larger wave down, and this rolls over and really tanks, and we could have another trough low like that for all I know, you know, so it's hard to say. This could push up a little bit more, but really it's kind of just like trading sideways to slightly downward pressure on the daily. So the weekly here, you can see what it was yesterday. When we refresh the page, you can see that now the weekly has got a topping tail on it. Of course, the week is not over, and it still could rally back up, as you can see here. So it is not looking good. It's like bang bang. It's hit this almost twice. Didn't quite make it up there this time to hit the 1096.48 red line, but this is going to cross in the next few months, and it's not going to be pretty when it finally does. It's going to be bad news probably into February and March of next year. I mean, or even later this October of this year. But again, it all depends on how this rises up and eventually puts in a small histogram tower, maybe like this, or maybe even smaller. I don't think it's going to be a whole lot. And if it goes up very far, it's going to bang on this 50, probably curl back down. But it is not officially hooked back up yet. I'd say it's trading sideways, putting slightly upward pressure simply based upon the histogram towers. I wouldn't say it's upward pressure. I'd say it's putting less downward pressure. As the bars raise up, there's less downward pressure. So it's trading sideways. There's not as much downward pressure on a weekly basis. And then, of course, the monthly, as you can see, the monthly still is not over with, but it is clearly putting downward pressure still as each bar gets lower and lower on the histogram tower. So that is reducing the amount of upward strength and putting downward pressure on it, as you can see. As here, it maxed out the upward pressure on the monthly. Now the upward pressure is weaning, and it is definitely selling on a monthly basis. Not crossed over yet, but when it finally does, it's going to be pretty ugly. So, looking at what you see right here, You can see here's another look from Cobra's chart, and you know, different looks, different sites will give you different looks at it. Come on and refresh. So basically I'm looking at probably some selling in the morning is what I'm looking at. I mean, this is kind of rolling back up on this one, on the daily, on the SPY. I'm looking for another down day. I don't know if it's going to sell in the morning or not. The 60's pointing like it wants to sell in the morning. But the way it's got this line coming up here, it's a pennant. And it's like, you know, are we going to break down through it now and pop out of this, or are we going to sell off? If we crack and break this, I mean, there's horizontal support here, and then there's that. So anyway, I'm running out of time, so that's it. Good luck tomorrow.